Tickets. Tickets, please.
Your soul.
Step inside. Take a ride upon the terror train. All aboard, be fair warned. These rails house fear and pain. Find a seat, don't mind the heat. Just pray the lights stay on. Upon these rails, these bloody rails, in darkness lies no dawn. Yes, step inside, come crawl or glide. With us you shall remain. Upon this ride, this hellish ride, we call the terror train. Ticket, please. James Ward Kirk Publications presents Terror Train. Episode 124. Final destination. For now. California to hell.
Welcome aboard. Welcome to my home. I am the Disembodied Voice, your ghost host, so to speak. Call me Terror. Welcome to my train. Be you dead, undead, or of the living. Tonight upon our terrifyingly bloody track, we had quite the professor. This professor of words, Alex S. Johnson. Oh yes, the professor of words with an eerie, evil twist, of course. Come along, Alex. That's right. Take the hand of terror and let me show you to your permanent seat. Or should I say sweet? You're upon the terror train. I'm sure you'll find your accommodations suitable for a man well versed. Perhaps you may learn a few. How do I say? Tones that glide from your throat in fear. Yes, take your seat, Alex, so we can all sit back as you hand over a bloody ticket, which reads Alex S. Johnson, Futurail.
ticket, please. Futurail by Alex S. Johnson. Ricky Romaine checked her watch. In 5 minutes, Futurail was due at the San Francisco depot. Unless she released the ghost. Then, the train was due nowhere, and time was a clock without a dial. She could sense the ghost's restlessness in the box at her feet. Its hostility. Its anguish. A prisoner of war in a battle between the new superpowers. The other passengers were completely oblivious, of course. They knew nothing of Earth-locked souls, spirit captures that carried the seeds of destruction. Vapor gods, with the capacity to translate the train, complete with commuters, into a mist like themselves. A shuttle through time run amok. Off the rails and straight to hell. Already the concept of a train felt like nostalgia. You might easily nod off over the holopates and find yourself back where you started, and returned, and started again, and returned an hour before. The transit between Sacramento and the New Bay Area was a quick puff of meta-cannabis, and then you were out there in the crowd of jostling citizens. The entire round-trip journey was a buzzing node of stations that folded and shattered and involuted and spat out terminals. The only constant was the commuters themselves, hurled relentlessly into a future that was already past. Ricky felt for the key in the pockets of her micropore trench coat and had a brief moment of panic before her hand closed over the celluloid card. It would be so simple, a swipe at the notch on the side of the box, and the end of the fight. But she wasn't about to make that decision just yet. Other factors were involved. Hers was not the only key. He would have to make the first move. If he did, the key would warm and pulse beneath her fingers, and that particular transit node was a fragment of history, a shard of pottery from an ancient Greek vase. A shot of mist squirted from the top of the box, briefly taking the form of a sigil before resolving into musical notation. Ricky struggled to recall whether this was a warning sign or meaningless. She smiled when she recognized the opening to the Mephisto Waltz. Even spook bombs were invested with a sense of humor these days. The landscape smeared by. Ricky placed her hands against the windows and enjoyed, as she had thousands of times before, the burn of the thermal trace as the windows reformatted to her own aesthetic optimum. Fin du siècle. Post-mortem modernity. An ice show of skeletal burlesque where the women morphed from big-busted showgirls to blue cadavers. Fractals sparkled at the window's edges as she watched. The light sheen of her reflection superimposed on the glass gave her blue-black raven hair, surgically augmented cheekbones, cherry red lips, and a body to kill for. She thought about all she was leaving behind. the full-service detective agency that did everything from the tracking of cheating husbands to the location of lost cyber pets. The revamped area of downtown where she did most of her business. The run-down bar in the old brick building. A former warehouse where she'd first learned of the war in a completely accidental way. Nova Death. They said she was the perfect operative, that her efficient professionalism and willingness to sacrifice scruples for profit was an asset. They plied her with drinks and drugs, and promises of off-world fantasy resorts where her least whim might manifest. Hunky neo-males who vanished instantly at the moment of climax. Slave girls who stuck around and serviced her until their use, too, had passed. If she wished, she need never leave Omega, watching the war on Earth from a skyport as cities evaporated, and entire populations melted like plastic toys in an incinerator. As she dined on the finest synthetic meat, and flicked idly through thousands of entertainment channels summoned on impulse, every nerve caressed to satiety. Very little held her in Sacramento, aside from sentimental associations easily wiped her first afternoon on Omega. Ricky was tempted. The offer appealed to her vanity and her taste for luxury and decadence. Humanity would suffer, but it was due for an upgrade anyway. The planet simply burped out more mouths to feed, more industries to sate an endless proliferation of appetites. The new global economy rivaled any in Earth's past, but only to make more consumers, more microcults, more domains of delight and torment. Cattle eating other cattle. As far as Ricky was concerned, they could choke on it. The only thing that kept her from completely assenting to the terms of her new associates was pride. To become an agent for either side was to sacrifice her independence, her integrity. She had no qualms about violence or destruction, provided she had a stake in the outcome. But that stake, that vital motivation, was missing. Unless it involved a future with a man she had only glimpsed in the background of an intraweb capture, and fallen instantly, helplessly, in love. There was irony for you. Irony cake with paradox sprinkled lightly on top and served flambé. According to some of her sources in the underground, he was no man at all, but a digital confabulation, no more tangible than the ghost in the box at her feet. Not only that, but he had betrayed her once, as the first iteration of the key she had received from him slammed the door on her off-world accounts and inserted her intraweb persona into a satirical video game called Shit Gremlins. At least, she thought he was responsible. Only the agent she knew as 1017 could possibly have accessed her codes, as they were required as proof of goodwill before she could activate the key. But then again, supposing he was indeed behind the damage, she had no way to determine whether that too was part of the game. For once, her instincts had abandoned her, because she forgave him anyway, on the slim chance that he was a human being and the completely irresponsible sanction of her own heart. The previous week, she'd received a piece of drug data from 1017 downed with a wink and a nod to the bartender at Nova Death. Almost instantly, the data unfolded on her retinal screen. It was not what she expected. The message said nothing of espionage or literal time bombs infused in spectral bodies. Instead, it was an introduction to the man who held the other key. A personal note that spoke of her, to her, in terms that evoked tenderness and laughter and an old-fashioned courtship. Ricky was stunned. She glimpsed an outcome to her journey that savored nothing of Holocaust and pain. His words were beautiful and simple, and they sang in her blood. Maybe, just maybe, there was another way. Futurail was 1 minute away from the stop. In fewer than 60 seconds, she would either initiate a terrorist attack on the line or merge with the other passengers into the new San Francisco fog. She would either be sipping cappuccino in a cafe by the bay and watching the seagulls, or in a vehicle en route to the Menlo Park space pod, Omega, and erotic servitors. Or elsewhere. Nowhere. So much depended on 1017. The man who was neither a phantom nor a digital simulacra, the fully flesh and blood agent whose real name was Ulrich Krell, was about to leave the comfort of his neo-Victorian mansion on the hill when his bay-facing window exploded. Two figures in flexible black armor and mirror masks stepped into his suite. And that, for all practical purposes, was the end of 1017. Once they had cloned his identity and wrung the key codes from him, the two operatives turned him into shark chomp. "30 seconds remained when the key began to pulse in Ricky's palm. Her heart hammered against her chest. This was it, the moment of choice. She reached down beneath the seat and, with both hands, sat the box on her lap. Steeling her nerves, she lifted the card and swiftly swiped it through the slot. And waited. When Ricky awoke, she thought for a moment she was still dreaming. Beside her sat a man with long hair and a mustache, and goatee flecked with gray. His sky-blue eyes were soft and humorous. It was the man from the intraweb capture. 1017. What? She looked about her and saw a park, families picnicking, dogs running, children playing. Golden rays of sunshine poured down through a bank of clouds. She blinked and patted herself. She was still dressed in the trench coat she had worn when she boarded the train in Sacramento. The man beside her gently touched her shoulder and smiled. "Who are you? And where are we?" she asked. "You know who I am. Well, a part of me. My name is Ulrich Krell, and I was your contact person from the agency. I created the device you activated. The ghost in the box. The time bomb? Yes. Only it wasn't a weapon. The only thing it destroyed was the terrorist plot itself. The ghost was designed to erase those time vectors that appeared when the agency formed. I don't understand. What happened to the agency then? All those involved have other commitments now. Only the leader, Deep 22, was fully bent on destruction. Deep is now selling package tours to off-world fantasy resorts along the lines of the one on Omega. He won't be making any more trouble on Earth. That's for sure. So now what? Krell laughed. We do whatever you like. Take a walk in the park. Grab some coffee. Perhaps later, if you're so inclined. We could take in a show. Ricky suddenly recalled the drug text and the retinal message from the week before. The man who sat beside her, whatever else he might be, was most certainly the author of that note, and the beautiful, alternate future it described. She took his hand and kissed it. Well, she said, rising to her feet, I hope you're as fast on your feet as you are talented with words, because I'm racing you to the nearest coffee shop, and whoever loses better have the price of a cappuccino. I hope you've got some money on you, he said. I'm totally broke. And with that, he was off, like a bullet train.
Now that Alex S. Johnson has found his permanent seat on our terror train, we have someone else. An editor.
Oh my God.
Oh, tasty these editors are.
No.
Yes, Krista Grabowski. Oh, that slides off the tongue. Welcome, Krista. Come, yes, follow me.
No.
I have something you need to see. And, yes, we need what do we call it, Conductor?
Ticket, please.
That's right. Tickets, please. So bloody are these tickets. Follow me, Krista. There's something I'd love for you to see.
Oh my God.
Yes, this way.
All aboard.
Jane.
am the publisher of Terror Train. Therefore, I do have blood on my hands.
Oh, James, you have far more than blood on your hands.
Dark blood, like blood from the liver. We have your body, we have your soul.
No.
Please proceed to the dining car. Thank you.
Yes, the dining car. Oh, lovely. Are you hungry, Krista? Oh, come along. I'm sure there's something that you can find to satiate your hunger. I know I will.
Where are you taking me?
Oh, Krista. Oh, your fear is so lovely. Where is terror taking you? Did you hear? The dining car. Come, Conductor, join us. We're about to have so much fun.
Oh my God, no. Please, please, no, don't. Oh no, please, God, no, don't.
I want to go home. I want to go home. Ah! Ah!
Please, make it stop, make it stop. Oh my God, please.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! Does this train ever stop?
I've got to find where else is train.
Oh my God! Is that my spleen? Oh God!
Tearing through the landscape from shore to shore, this train makes a terrible sound.
Good job, man. The caboose door has large metal jaws and teeth.
What? Where's my fun?
No, please, please. Let me out of here. No, 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 no. Please.
They're really skinny down digestion pits. Bring those creatures in. Let me out.
It's so dark. So dark.
Oh God, no, please.
Trein, zo zwart. Ramen, zo rood. Als vuur. Zwavellucht. Verbrand vlees.
Never stops. It never stops.
Oh my God.
Hij remt. Huilende wielen. Gemartelde zielen. Hij komt me halen. En ik moet mee. Naar het
The
huis.
endless rumble and timeless roar of mechanical minutes and soul forever bound. That butt ugly stink lump swallowed my...
Oh dear, I greatly fear. We should be lost, I tell you. I'm gonna blow chunks.
She's taken over my body. Someone do something. She's taken over my body. Give it back. No, please.
No, Mary! No, Mary! Mary! No, Mary! Mary, no! No, Mary! No, Mary! Too much blood! Ah! Too much blood, Mary! No, Mary!
Oh my God!
So dark.
listen to their bloody cries. The bleeding, the crying, the pain. Oh, so lovely, don't you think, Krista?
Oh my God.
Yes, terror. The misery. The suffering. The insanity. So beautiful.
Isn't this what you deem as you edit each story of this breathing life into each one?
No.
To the crimes. Soon you'll be joining them. The train is now alive, Krista. Don't you see? And it's mine. These walls, they ooze with the blood of all these offers. Their souls dripping, oozing from every crevice. And they are mine now. All mine. The Conductor, we have taken their mortal souls in exchange for each of their stories penned, and they willingly handed over their bloody tickets. Oh, the glory. Blood. Just look at them. What is left of some is no more than insanity.
Oh my God.
Take a seat, Krista. Your permanent seat. Train must continue. Oh, yes. You are the final passenger in this particular car. So many cars to fill. So many souls yet to board along our track. Bloody tickets for our dear Conductor to collect. Don't worry, pretty Krista. Terror will return. This is the tiny car, after all. Make yourself uncomfortable. After all, this is the terror train. Come, Conductor, close these doors permanently. We have so many offers yet to find.
Last. Stop.
Eat
Survived this trek? No turning back. Dare resist, just try. Step back inside, we'll be your guide. So many ways to die. Upon this ride, nowhere to hide. With us, you shall remain. Upon this ride, this hellish ride, we call the Terror Train. Terror Train Podcast, Episode 124, California to Hell. Produced by Krista Grabowski, David Schutz II, and Mary Genevieve Fortier. Podcast directed and arranged by David Schutz II. The Conductor, your narrator, was created by and played by David Schutz II. Terror, the Disembodied Voice, was created by and played by Mary Genevieve Fortier. Terror Train Podcast opening and closing poems written by Mary Genevieve Fortier. Host segments dialogue for Terror, the Disembodied Voice, written by Mary Genevieve Fortier. Production music: The House of Leaves, Chase Pulse, The Hive, Unseen Horrors, Deep Noise, Fantastic Dim Bar, Epic Unease, and The Voices by Kevin MacLeod, Incompetech.com. Featured work: Futurail, written by Alex S. Johnson. Production music: Darkening Developments, Decisions, Martian Cowboy, Deep Haze, Lightless Dawn, Bent and Broken, Penumbra, Revival, and Jarvik 8 by Kevin MacLeod in Copytech.com. Guest voices in order of appearance: Krista Grabowski, James Ward Kirk, Tinker, Thomas M. Malafarina, Lori R. Lopez, Bridget Kephart, Jeremy Mays, Roger Cowan, Stephen Alexander, David S. Pointer, Aaron Besson, Ree Sheridan Rose, E. S. Wynn, Shanoa Carol Brad, Mike Jansen, Dale Holland, Versailles Antoinette, Justin Hunter, Murphy Edwards, Alex S. Johnson, Mary Genevieve Fortier, and Abdul Qadir Tariq Bakari Muhammad. Additional sound effects by audiosoundclips.com. Podcast program edited by David Schutz II. The stories and poems presented in the Terror Train podcasts are all featured in the James Ward Kirk Publishing anthology, Terror Train, which was edited by Krista Grabowski and A. Henry Keene. Cover art by Stephen Cooney. Content copyright 2014. Terror Train, podcast episode 124, California to Hell. Copyright 2014.